Hi, welcome back. Our next guest is a licensed real estate salesperson from Moravilla, LLC, here to highlight the work that Moravilla is doing to increase family wealth building in Black and Brown communities, providing vital information on topics such as savings, credit, homeownership to communities of color. So please help me welcome Adan Morales.
Thank you for having me. It's
No.
a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here. So, Adan, let's dive right into this.
Okay.
How did you get started in real estate?
I got started in real estate actually because of my wife. So I met my lovely wife, Vanessa Villanueva, who's also my partner in all my endeavors. And I saw what she was doing, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And I dropped what I was doing, and I moved forward.
Ah,
7 years later, here we are.
7 years later, here we are having this conversation.
Yep.
And what motivates you in real estate or in this venture that you have?
Well, I mean, talking about it specifically in regards to real estate, I think the first thing I fell in love with was entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. The idea of being able to create something and build it and grow it into what it's become today, it's something that I definitely feel is one of my greatest accomplishments in life. It's like I'm a parent more so than anything, and I'm a husband. But that building this business is definitely the closest thing to another baby for me.
To another, yeah, no,
Absolutely.
I know. I hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so what is a realtor being involved in this initiative that you have? If you could share more of
Sure.
your initiative.
Sure. So, I'm originally from Washington Heights as well as the Bronx, born and raised my whole life. And when I started getting more into real estate, I started learning how much of a lack of home ownership there was in the communities that I grew up in. And the more I got involved in the industry, the more it became a blaring thing. You could know about something and hear about it on TV or whatnot, but when you get into an industry, you really start seeing the impacts that it has or doesn't have on a community. So when that started becoming more prevalent to me and it was just screaming at me, I felt like I had to do something about it. And obviously one person can't fix a blaring issue like a wealth gap, but I will certainly be going down for someone that try to help.
Yeah. So walk us through what the initiative is, how it works, what you do, how you get involved.
So, we realize that when there's a gap, right, there's two sides to it. And what's missing is a bridge, right? And the only way to really address the financial issues that we're having from a literacy perspective, as well as a wealth gap, is to speak to both sides of the generations. In a family, there's an older generation that's leading the way, and there's a younger one that is going to be starting a new path. So our goal is to actually speak to both of them at the same time. Because it doesn't make sense for a young child to come home and talk about compound interest and equity.
Can you imagine your parents talking?
And especially if your parents don't know about it and you do.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is
fly right over them.
Exactly. So we're trying to speak to both sides of the generation at the same time. So our family wealth building event is something that we're very proud of. We've been working hand in hand with the chamber, and it's something that has been growing fast. And it's something that we're really excited about. What we do is that the families come down, and we have an event simultaneously happening for the children as well as for the adults.
So it's a family affair,
Exactly.
if you will.
Exactly.
Because you don't have to get a babysitter. You actually bring
Exactly.
your children to class, and you yourself go and learn as well
Exactly.
at a different level, I'm assuming.
Exactly. So we coined the phrase Family Wealth Building Day, in the sense that it's not just for the parents, it's not just for the children, it's for everybody.
Yeah.
And the point is that when that family sits down at that dinner table that night, that's where the impact is going to be felt. What are they going to be talking about? Or what are they going to be thinking about that maybe they weren't before?
Excellent. So you're really being inclusive with this program, and it's focused mainly in the Bronx?
Well, no, so it's not Bronx only.
Okay.
It's an initiative that we're trying to do in the city. But the last one we did was in the Bronx at at CS 55. We partnered up with an amazing principal over there by the name of Luis Torres. He gave us access to the school and also to the population, right? Because one of the great things about partnering up with the schools is that you have access to an entirely different population that maybe you didn't have the week before.
The whole neighborhood is there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're impacting these communities, one community at a time, because the Bronx is a big place.
Yes.
Manhattan is a big place. Brooklyn is a big place. But within that big place, there's a lot of big places that are maybe a little smaller, but they're their own little ecosystem,
Yeah.
their own little communities.
Different pockets.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Different pockets. Excellent. And how do you look for these partnerships, or how could anyone come and partner with you? Let's say they're listening to what you're saying today, and if they want to bring your program, how would they do that?
Well, they could definitely reach out to us through the chamber, as well as through me as well. My information is there. But at the end of the day, it's funny because when you're trying to get an initiative going, it's interesting because it's hard to find a place to do it.
Yeah.
Once the word starts getting out a little bit, it's like there's schools have started to approach us and some venues have approached us, and we're super excited about where it's going to go. But at the end of the day, we're just looking for the place that we can have the biggest impact. And that's really what our guideline is. So anyone that's interested in bringing, having this type of conversation, but we definitely welcome it, and we look forward to meeting and hopefully partnering one day.
Yeah, excellent. And I think I failed to mention that Adan is another one of our board members here at the chamber. So he also has his small business background.
Yes.
So how about you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm honored to have been now on the board for a little over a year. I currently sit as the Director of Community Affairs. It's something I'm very passionate about because, as an entrepreneur, you build a business, right? And we all have different passions. But I feel that a business can get to a certain point where it's almost your responsibility to start looking for ways to give back. One of the biggest issues that we have with community wealth, generally speaking, is that a lot of the money leaves. And I'm a very big incentive on where can we find ways for the people that are making money in our communities to have a role in the community. And I take that very seriously. I think the chamber has given me a way of doing that at an exponential rate that I would have never imagined.
Yeah.
I'm really honored to be here.
Yeah, no, thank you. Okay, Adan, so share with us more about this family wealth building.
Yes. So, family wealth building is an initiative that I'm very passionate about. Through my experience in real estate, I definitely identified that there's a serious wealth gap in these communities that I've grown up in, specifically in the Bronx and Upper Manhattan, Harlem. I'm seeing for the first time with the clearest of eyes, right? Because being involved in real estate is where I really was enlightened to what's going on. And we came up with this initiative about family wealth building because we realized that one of the most secure ways to combat the wealth gap is through home ownership. And if you look at some of the staggering statistics that are out there, it really makes it clear that one of the only ways that we're going to be able to fix this is if we start providing an avenue for, one, financial literacy, and two, for a way of someone to be able to fix the gap. So it's through knowledge, and then it's through applying that information that you're going to be able to solve this issue. So we started doing the family wealth building days, and what it is that we have decided to not only work with the parents, but also to work with the children simultaneously. We developed a curriculum where the parents and the children will be working simultaneously towards the goal of gaining financial literacy. So what we do is the children and the parents come together, and they actually are going to be learning about the same things, but individually. So depending on what's the age group of the school, we have curriculum set up for that particular age group where those young children are going to be learning about compound interest, about equity, about savings, about banking, about credit cards. Things that a lot of times people in my communities didn't learn about till it was a little too late.
Yeah.
I remember when I first went to college, I took out a $350 credit card. And I'll never forget it. Like that $350 credit card impacted the next 8 or 9 years of my life. $300 stood between me and being able to get an apartment or to, even get a Macy's card. Like I was stuck.
Yeah.
And I never had anyone to teach me these things.
So what age group are you targeting when you go to these schools? Is
Well, we
it
want to
as
target
young
them all.
as
We
Oh,
want to go,
okay.
I mean, we can go from kindergarten all the way through college, and again, to adults.
So there are different programs tailored to these different age groups.
Exactly. So the idea is that the oldest generation in the family that doesn't know and the youngest one that doesn't are going to start having a conversation about a topic that never existed to them before. Right? So when that young person goes to college or turns 17 or 18, they know what to do with that $300 credit card. And they can use it as a tool. Because the same way that that small thing can hurt you for so long, it can also give you a lot of power. And that's our job, is that we're trying to empower our communities. And we're doing it through education and also by showing them. You know, there's a very interesting statistic, right? 75% of America owns a home. And only 8% of Americans that own a home are black. And 10% are Hispanic. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Especially when you talk about wealth gap, right? The
Yeah.
average homeowner in America has a net equity value, a net worth of over $250,000. And the average American that rents in America, and this is regardless of color. This is just, when I were talking about money, right?
Yeah.
The average American that rents has a net worth of less than $7,000.
Wow.
When you're talking about a disparity like that, we can't sit here as a community and not try to do something about it.
Yeah. When it's right in front of us, that's the big issue here.
Exactly.
So that's amazing that you have this initiative, that you're bringing it out into the community, to the people that need it. Are there any other initiatives that you're currently working on as well?
Well, you know, as a member of the chamber, there's a lot of things that the chamber's working on collectively. I mean, it's literally, when we're in the board meetings, I hear about all the different initiatives that we're doing and all the different programs and summits and seminars. There's a lot of things going on right now in all the communities. But me personally speaking, I guess I have to go to the heart with this one. And that's where I would like to talk and definitely bring a little bit of awareness to a cause that's dear to me. And that's the idea of donorship. You know, I have my sister-in-law, Melissa Villanueva. She's currently looking for a kidney donor.
Oh, wow.
And it's something that is so impactful to a family
Yeah.
and to a community. You know, when you start seeing someone that you care and love going through the process of dialysis and seeing what that really entails. You know, going to the doctors 3 times a week to basically get your body cleaned and cleansed.
Yeah.
Because your body can't do it itself.
Yeah.
So, you know, we definitely want to bring a little bit of awareness to that as an issue nationally. So we have partnered, you know, we have a website that we've made. It's called melissaneedsadonor.com. And if you go on that website, it'll take you directly to the National Directory for Donorship. It's not something, you know, we're not asking for money. We're just asking for awareness.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, that's definitely a passion of mine.
Okay, so this is unbelievable. We have multiple things happening. We have Moravilla.com, where you can find all these wonderful initiatives. You can find Melissa's donors as well online for you to either donate or help spread the word on this wonderful cause.
MelissaNeedsADonor.com.
Thank you, thank you. Dan, thank you so much for coming on today. Amazing
for
board
having me.
member, amazing person, a huge heart. Thank you again. Muchas
you.
gracias.
Thank
Gracias a todos. Hope to see you next time when we have our following guest. Thank you.